Hello and welcome to What the F*** Just Happened Today, your essential guide to the daily shock and awe in national politics. I'm Joe Amditis. Let's get to it. It's Thursday, March 2nd, 2023. Welcome to day 772. The Justice Department says Trump can be sued by injured Capitol police officers and Democratic lawmakers over the January 6th insurrection at the Capitol. In a federal court filing, the DOJ says Trump is not entitled to absolute immunity against civil lawsuits seeking to hold him liable for the attack because no part of a president's official responsibilities includes the incitement of imminent private violence. Although Trump enjoys broad legal latitude to communicate to the public on matters of concern, attorneys for the Justice Department's Civil Division wrote that by definition, such conduct plainly falls outside the president's constitutional and statutory duties. 2 U.S. Capitol police officers and 11 Democratic members of the House are seeking to hold Trump liable for injuries and damages caused during the riot. Trump has argued that he was acting in his official capacity as president when he told a crowd to fight like hell to keep Congress from certifying the results of the 2020 election. Meanwhile, the House Ethics Committee opened an investigation into George Santos, who has admitted to numerous fabrications about his background and faces questions about his campaign and personal finances. The probe will look into whether Santos engaged in unlawful activity with respect to his 2022 congressional campaign, including allegations of sexual misconduct, failure to properly disclose information on his House financial disclosures, and whether he violated federal conflict of interest laws. Santos responded to the investigation by tweeting in the third person that George Santos is fully cooperating. Moving on, Biden plans to ask Congress for $1.6 billion to recapture stolen COVID-19 relief funds and to help victims of identity theft. The Trump and Biden administrations distributed about $5 trillion in pandemic relief funds, and some experts estimate that more than $250 billion were stolen by fraudsters. At least $2 billion has been recovered so far. Meanwhile, Eli Lilly will cap the out-of-pocket costs of insulin at $35 a month, a 70% cut in the price of its most commonly prescribed insulin products. Roughly 8.4 million people in the United States with diabetes rely on insulin in order to live, and the annual cost of medical care for people with diabetes comes to about $9,600 on average. Eli Lilly will cut the list price of its generic insulin to $25 a vial on May 1st, down from its current list price of $82.41 per vial. And for those people with private insurance, the out-of-pocket costs will be capped at $35. Biden called the announcement a big deal. And finally, the Senate voted to repeal a Biden administration rule that allowed retirement funds to consider climate and social factors in their investment decisions. Republicans complained that the rule is a woke policy that politicizes retirement investments by pushing liberal environmental and social goals on Americans. Republicans have also argued that the rule would lead to disinvestment from the fossil fuel industry. The rule, however, is not a mandate to consider the environmental, social, and governance factors in investment selections. It was intended to reverse Trump-era policies that actively discouraged ESG investments. Still, Senate Republicans, with the help of Jon Tester and Joe Manchin, passed the resolution by a vote of 50 to 46, one day after the House voted to rescind the rule. Biden has threatened to veto the measure. That's all for now. You can find the links and sources for all of these stories on the main website. And as always, visit whatthefjusthappenedtoday.com for the latest news and headlines. Until next time, I'm Joe Amditis.